Yeah, I get it. But say, for instance, if somebody were to give you, just ballpark, $200 million to do a film, what would go into that? Casting, special effects, explosions, interesting characters, big name action stars, right? And I think that's kind of a formula to make a successful film, don't you think?
What about a good script?
Yeah, yeah, that too. Hi everyone, welcome back to Babble On. I'm Asaf. I love cycling and good movies.
Yes, and I am Itai, and I hate stuff, but I like good movies. I don't think we're here today to talk about good movies. I have a feeling.
We
I
need to,
don't know your stance on it exactly, but I get the feeling. We're here to talk about a not so good movie.
I think we need to give our honest opinion, and whatever happens, happens.
We're not here to trash movies. That's
No,
that's
we're
not
not.
what we do. But sometimes, especially Hollywood films, with big budgets that should have everything in place for a good movie or at least a
Yep.
decent movie. If we think it's crap, then we should probably say so.
Because, for instance, just for instance, with a $200 million budget, you don't have many excuses to not make a great film. Unless, of course, you're not trying to make a great film in the first place, which this is the case. We are, of course, talking about the Russo Brothers' The Gray Man that came out this year, starring
Ryan Gosling
Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, and Billy Bob Thornton, and a slew of
and
others.
Anna de Armas
Under the Armas, of course.
and Danush, who's a massive Indian sort of Bollywood star.
The cast is built of very capable and good actors all around, right?
Also, one I'd like to mention is Julia Butters, who plays the little girl.
Yeah, she's
She
amazing
is the one who was in Once Upon a Time
in
in.
Hollywood.
It seems to be a pattern with films in general lately, with big budget films, but also with Netflix, where all of these trinkets are more important than a good script and a good story and a good film. Where if a film is flashy and it has the big stars, that's all they want. And this film was made for $200 million, which equals the most expensive film ever made by Netflix, with Red Notice from a few months ago. Was also made for 200 million, starring Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. It's a lot of money put into a movie that is concentrating on all the wrong things, as I see it, or on things that you should concentrate on after. You concentrate on the big things like writing and some
Yep.
interesting characters and character development and all the rest of it.
It's clear that the structure of this film was, you can see the thought process. They're planning this film from one sequence to another because there's almost no emphasis on characters there. You have everybody in there put in there is put in there to shine a light somehow on the plot in a very shallow manner. You have characters that do ridiculous things. Six in the movie. He's an assassin, and they're trying to kill him, right?
Because of some drive. It's like
Because it's some bullshit. Yeah, but that's fine. You say if that's the film, that's fine. But everybody who's put in there, and they're very capable actors, is put there to shine some sort of light on him. They don't have their own presence. The little girl, Julia Butters, she feels like an afterthought, especially the way they edited it. So you have six opposite Lloyd Hansen. Lloyd Hansen is supposed to be this ruthless assassin that has evidently unlimited resources to hunt people down. And he's evil just for the sake of being evil. He's comic book evil. And that makes him less interesting. So what you have, instead of an interesting and deep character that you can like or hate or whatever, you have a guy who's trying to be funny and witty and does things that are at times ridiculous. The guy who harbors Six in his basement, who traps him, that guy played Pablo Escobar
Yeah.
in the show. That's a very capable actor and a wasted character. So he traps Six. Lloyd comes in and he's supposed to pay the guy. He shoots him. Why does he shoot him?
I agree, on the general sort of statement about Lloyd's character. But I do think that there's a little bit of, maybe, I don't know if to call it depth or explanation as to why he's, so-called evil. He takes pride in being the guy who will do what the CIA can't do. So he's hired to just disregard the law, basically, and give them some plausible deniability. And again, that's also a cliche that's been done before in films. He's the one who got, tossed out of the service because he was a psychopath. So that's his character. Every character in this is a cliche.
Yep.
Even Ryan Gosling's character and Billy Bob Thornton's character, and like you said, the girl, we don't know anything about her apart from how she feels about Six. There's a lot going on in this that it just feels like they took it from different films and put it together. I can just see the pitch for this. Yeah. Give me Taken and make it have sex with the Bourne, franchise, and this is going to be their baby.
Yeah,
because it's really that, and it's just not as good as any of the films made in the other ones.
Something about Lloyd. His psychopathy comes off as comedic where it's not supposed to. The actor is aware of the character. You can see Chris Evans trying to portray a psychotic person.
Like you're saying, this film had this like serious thing about it.
Yeah.
And then this comic relief side of things, which is, again, it comes up through a main character like a Bruce Willis, doing the funny lines like in Last Boy Scout or Die Hard or whatever else.
Yeah.
And Ryan Gosling didn't have that here.
No, it was too serious.
He's a too serious. Yeah, he's Jason Bourne in this. And it's just all of it is like it's taken from other places and it's not. And they
don't give you something new.
Good.
It's just that. And for $200 million, it's unjustified. Ryan Gosling has
the whole thing with the girl being kidnapped. That's taken right there.
Yep.
And that's it's just like too obvious.
Yeah.
And Alfre Woodard, who plays the character of the agent, the black woman, who again, it's a cliched character, but she was a good character. She kind of worked, but they gave her 1 minute of screen time.
Yeah,
to show that she's a kick-ass kind of woman, but it's like, and she's a legend and whatever, but they didn't show it throughout the movie.
No,
showed her for 5 minutes and then she's gone, and then it's like, why? But not only that, they double up on characters here as well, because you have the character of Lloyd, and you also have the character of the CIA bad guy. But because Lloyd's character is so amped up, that guy disappears at one point.
He has no meaning in there after a certain while. Now,
it wasn't needed. It's just such bad writing.
It feels like they put the characters in there because they had the money to. That's what it feels like.
Absolutely.
And
look at the names.
Yeah, and look at the sequences. Look even at the sequence where Lloyd grabs Billy Bob Thornton's character. He grabs him to kidnap him because he had already kidnapped his niece or whatever. And that whole scene happens in a funeral. That whole scene happens in a location with 100 extras. It's a scene that could take place in a car. That's what happens when you have too much money.
I agree. And then again, everything about Lloyd, the way he's dressed, that porn mustache, you could tell that the only reason for that mustache being there was for that joke about the porn stash. And the fact that he wears these loafers with no socks. It's like just to give his characters something. Yeah,
like a hipster vibe.
Yeah. And again, I thought that Chris Evans actually did an okay job with what he was given.
He's a fine actor,
because Chris Evans, he's likable. Apparently, he actually turned down. Actually, I don't know if he turned it down, but I think he was in the running for the main role. But he wanted to play the villain.
Yeah, but
so they moved him to that because he wanted that role.
Somebody dropped the ball with that. Somebody dropped the ball with the entire film, but the villain. Especially with the villain.
I don't think it's especially. I think it's with almost all of them. You have
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton, one of the finest actors we have today.
Yeah,
The guy oozes charisma.
Yeah.
They put him in a shitty role, you know?
It's a shitty role.
Such a cliche, and it's like going through a list and putting in, oh, Ana de Armas. Oh, she's hot right now. Let's put her in this.
Let's put her in this, yeah.
And
for no reason.
And she's great. She's great. You know, when they gave her those action scenes, I was like, yeah, she can kick ass. They should give her a movie.
Yeah.
You know, of her own. Yeah. But here it's like she was wasted.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way: who was your favorite character in this, or maybe
Ryan Gosling's character was my favorite character, because Ryan Gosling has a trait that you can see it throughout his career. You can put a camera on Ryan Gosling and he doesn't have to talk, and he delivers it to you exactly what he wants to deliver to you. He gives you the depth. He gives you he has charisma.
He's a fine actor, and I could see it here as well. But it was wasted, much like everything else. I didn't love his character, I have to say, because
it's not his best movie, but I got the most out of him.
I think he phoned it in, and I'll tell you why. Because I've seen the same acting from him for many other characters. The character from Drive, he was doing it throughout this movie. You know, he didn't have to do anything. That's the problem. They didn't give him much to do.
Yeah.
But, and it sucked, in my opinion, worse than Lloyd. Lloyd, at least they gave him something to do, to Chris Evans.
It's a forgettable film.
Yeah, my favorite character, by the way, in this is Dhanush, the Indian assassin.
They didn't show him enough to make him.
Yeah, I know. But still, he had enough of a presence, and that's what I like about it. The guy has charisma.
Yep.
He was in those scenes, and I was like, wow, I'm fascinated. I want to see more of this guy, you know?
Yeah, but you didn't get it.
No, but again, it didn't matter. And his character went exactly where I thought it would, which was very kind of predictable, but still.
And also, the girl, Julia Butters.
Yeah.
There's a scene where I can't imagine how they left it in there. There's a scene where she goes, "Please don't go." They're supposed to have this standoff. Don't go. She cries. She doesn't want to. He goes, "This is just another Thursday. Don't worry, little girl. This is what I do." Right? Yeah. And then she changes tone. She changes tone. Are you a scared little child, or what are you?
But I think that was editing. You know, it's like almost a different scene already, and yeah.
What 12-year-old speaks like that? Kick his ass. People are getting murdered here. You know.
But again, it is so cliche. They went and they, as if destroyed, Prague and wherever else they went, and it's just like
for no reason.
And all that was because one CIA bigwig, who is not even that high up the ladder, I would have to say, wanted to protect his own ass.
Yeah, and it's but they're justifying that. They're saying that he has a whatever, somebody who kicks him up the ladder, a mysterious character that pulls the strings.
This film is just so
all over the place,
loaded with cliches.
Yep.
That it was tough to watch in points for me.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like this is from this is from that, this is from a ton of other movies. This line we've heard before. Yeah. So many lines we've heard before actually. In this, just a variation. The one funny line was when Lloyd referred to Six as Ken doll, and Ryan Gosling is playing Ken in the Barbie movie.
Yeah, that was a clear.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was. What
even that felt a little forced, but felt funny, you know.
Yeah, the forced part, the forced lines, that killed it for me.
Look, there's something going on in Hollywood, and apparently now it's sort of creeping into Netflix because Netflix is bringing in Hollywood. Russo Brothers doing a film for Netflix.
Yeah, not the finest hour.
Yeah. But this will probably pay off in some way, because if they spent $200 million on Red Notice, and they're now spending another $200 million on a different film, obviously it worked.
They're not doing this for the money, I guess. They're doing it to their position in mainstream film.
They're doing everything for the money, and this is for the money. It's just more of a long-term strategy.
Yeah, they want their name synonymous with a big studio. They want their name synonymous with a big studio.
It's not that. I think they're thinking about subscribers. I think. Look, simply put, and I might be wrong about this, but the only way I can think of it is they think, okay, we have subscribers who are already on there. They're going to watch this film, right? They're gonna stay on the platform and renew. You know what I mean? A lot of people who want to see this film and are not subscribers to Netflix are now going to subscribe to watch this film and plan to unsubscribe within a month, right? Subscribe for a month, then get off the platform. What they're hoping is the unsubscribe rate is not as high as they think for the new subscribers.
It feels
a
off
lot
the
of people
charts.
just go, yeah, but a lot of people go, you know what? I'll stay for another. I forgot to unsubscribe.
It feels
It
like
happens a lot.
It feels off the charts with a $200 million budget. If this film was made for a
course.
quarter of that, then you can understand the model.
If you make $100 million movie, right? Not a $200 million movie, you can't have Ryan Reynolds, Chris Evans, Russo Brothers, whoever the writers are, who those writers actually wrote a couple of the Avenger movies and of the Captain America movies. So obviously they're in demand and they get paid a lot. There's a lot of stuff that they paid for in this, that if they made this $100 million movie, it will not get the same attention. And they proved that with Red Notice. Red Notice, the most viewed film on Netflix ever, I think.
All right.
So, you know what I mean? So they have their own calculations. Where I think it's wrong is having that kind of budget, that kind of and still not providing quality. Why not? It's like, give us quality. Why does it have to be so cliche, so copied from other places?
Because they're not putting
Nothing
emphasis.
original.
They're not putting the emphasis on the story. That's why it's a clear reason why you can clearly see it in the film.
When your main character, Six, Ryan Gosling, has no real character development, there's something there, and they tried to squeeze it in, with his dad.
Yeah, it's forced.
Played by the way, by Shea Wiggum, played his dad, which is what a waste of a good actor to have only a couple of scenes where they barely show him.
Yeah, his entire backstory looks like an afterthought.
Yeah,
that's
something. But it is what it is. Look, again, like I said, we're not here to shit on it, but we're here to say you can do better and you should do better, and this is just not. For anyone who is a film fan, like a real film fan, the art of film,
where
storytelling, and it's just, I don't see how people can like this.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a virus, and it's happening all over Hollywood and all the films that are coming out these days. And I think it's actually also kind of creeping into indie for a while now, to sort of the lower end of indie, where people are just churning out the same old shit, trying to copy Hollywood movies and. How they're going to make it better with a shitty indie budget, But still, they have no original stories, a lot of them. Some do, and, and I love that. It's just sad to me, that this is going on. It's like, why can't we try to make things interesting? But anyway, my verdict for this, if I had to give this a grade, like an out of 10 grade, I'd give it, again, there are some good bits in it where I was entertained.
I was going to say.
Bits and pieces of characters that I like, and I do like a lot of the actors in this, and it was good to see them, but disappointing in the end to see them. So look, this film for me is a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, as it is mine. I think anything less than a 4 would the technical efforts that went into it.
It should have been much better. These actors, this budget should not be crap. I hate to put it all on the writers. But I don't know if this is what was asked of them, or they were pushed to write it this way. But this is not how you make a good film. You write a good script.
Maybe the intention wasn't to make a good film. The intention was to make a theme park ride.
Again, theme park rides can be good films. But
you can. That's what I said at the beginning. The sole focus of this film was sequence to sequence. What do we do here? We need to blow up the electric cart. And what do you do here? We need to blow up a plane.
Yeah, but just because they made it that way doesn't mean they should have made it that way. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that plane scene was ridiculous as well. So much. There was just so much that was like, yeah, right.
You can't just have a fight.
These,
you have to destroy.
You have
everything.
It's like so much of it was just like look at the chaos, look at the mess, look at the action, look at this. But hello, where's the story?
Let's hope that the future brings better films. Better stories, better scripts, better thought processes. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the little bell icon so you'll get notified on all our future videos. What did you think about The Gray Man? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let us know.
On that note, we will see you next time on BABBLE ON.
Yep. Bye, guys.